It's report card time for the Grand Prairie Storm, and joining us now at the Canada Games Arena is Matt Hughes, head coach and general manager of the Grand Prairie Storm. Matt, we're going to get you to give your team a grade in several categories. Category 6 being the strongest, best, and most intense storm, and a Category 1 being, well, really no storm at all. We'll start at the back end with goaltending.
Goaltending's been, I think, unexpectedly up and down this year. I think obviously Nick's been our go-to guy this year, and he's had some real hot streaks. He's been playing real well lately, but there was some tough times throughout the year. I think that had to do with how we were playing in front of him, but if I had to grade it, I'd probably say a 3.
Team defensive play.
Team defensive play, that's been something we've been struggling with all year. I think that's one of the things we have identified as a bit of an issue for us, is the amount of chance that we're giving up 5-on-5. It's something we're constantly trying to fix every day, and our guys are really buying in and getting better. I think our last couple games we've been far better 5-on-5 in front of our goaltenders, and that's making them look a lot better as well. But team defensive play, I'd probably say a 3 as well.
Goal scoring.
There's been the Achilles heel this year. We've had a tough time, getting more than 3 goals a game, and that's been tough for us when our defensive play hasn't been good enough. But if you had to ask me goal scoring, I would say a 1 or a 2. It just hasn't been there consistently this year.
Due to a power play that ranks last in the league at just 10%, this may be your lowest category of storm, but special teams.
Well, special teams overall, I've liked our penalty kill, particularly in the last couple of months here. It's been real strong for us, and it's given us a chance. It's something we're confident in, and that's a credit to all the guys really buying in there. Power play wise, just haven't been able to consistently find groups that can score and score in key times. There's power plays are difference makers at this time of year, and at this level, if you can get one a night, it makes a difference between a win and a loss quite often. But if you had to ask me special teams combined, I'd say a 3, just power play a 1, just penalty kill a 4.
Commitment to team systems.
Commitment to team systems. You know what? I think our guys have worked real hard to learn the systems. They've worked real hard to try and stick with the systems. I think that I'd like to say we're committed to our systems. Our guys know when they know when mistakes are getting made. They know how important it is to how we play and how important structure is, and I'd give that a 4.
Heart, hustle, and desire to win.
Ooh, heart, hustle, and desire to win. I think those have been things that have been fluctuating throughout the year for us, but I really believe in our group right now that we have the will to win is definitely there. We haven't lost that. That's almost getting harped on more right now. The guys have the will to win. The guys have the desire. I'd give that a 4 or 5.
Sasha Larocque, when healthy, can be one of the more dominant defensemen in the league. He has offensive capabilities. He can move the puck up the ice. He's got some grit and some size and some strength in the back end.
McKay will steal it for the Thunder, gets it to Dunphy, up the left wing side. Big hit by Sasha Larocque as he runs over Brett Smythe.
Dalton Olson, kind of cut from the same cloth as Larocque. He definitely can carry the puck, and he has some offensive ability as well, but definitely a big guy back there in the blue line. Riley Van Horn is a shutdown defenseman for you guys. Drew Nykirk, another strong defenseman of the shutdown variety, but once he gets the puck in the offensive zone, he seems to be able to do something with it up there as well. You guys definitely have a core back there on the defensive end of things that is an area of strength for your team, but it hasn't necessarily translated into lots of wins this year.
Well, I think that we've worked real hard over the past couple of months to get the right type of people back there, and I think we've got that. We've got 8 defensemen right now that are good players. They range in age from 20 to 17, and they're all contributors. The thing with defense, and we talked about it earlier, it's team defense. It's not just the 2 guys in the back end. It's the forwards picking up checks. It's a 5-man system out there. It's a 5-man unit, and that's where our breakdowns are happening. And it's not just one thing every night. It's a different thing, and that's been the frustrating part for the group, is that we find a way to shoot ourselves in the foot defensively with a mental lapse here and there, and then for whatever reason, when you're a team that can't score, it seems every mistake you make ends up in the back of your net, and then it's just one more you got to get.
But you can put out, if you dress 6 defensemen in the night, there's never really a weakness in, like, top 4 are really good, but even 5 and 6, I think, are up there pretty good too.
Well, they're guys we have confidence in. We feel that defensively we can match up against almost anybody. We have, like you said, the top 4 guys that can play against any team's top 2 lines, and we're confident in that, and our third pair is good against anybody else. So I mean, that's not an issue for us, but again, it's finding the consistency in the game and the consistency in the belief that you can get the job done.
Joined now by Matt Hughes, head coach and general manager of the Grande Prairie Storm. Matt, taking into account the entire season thus far, what are some strengths that your team can build on, and also a couple of weaknesses that you guys need to improve as we head towards the playoffs?
Well, I think one of the strengths and one of the things we've got to look at and remember here is how young we are up front and the opportunity those kids have gotten this year. I mean, our young guys have played, upwards of 40 games apiece right now, and they've played big minutes. They've had a lot of opportunities. So now we don't view it as we have any first-year players left on this hockey team. We view them as veteran guys now, and that's what the expectation level is. And I think that they're starting to realize that and starting to put more onus on themselves to be good every day and not just good one night and a little bit off the next night. I think our veteran leadership has been great. Tyson McCallum, Ryan Baskerville, Jordan McTaggart in particular up front have been real good with a young group of guys at helping learn and helping push and being a positive guy in the room. Sasha and Dalton on the back end have been real positive, real helpful with the young guys, and again, they know when to push and when to hold back.
And this division is so close, 3 through 8. Have a bad week and you could be out of a playoff spot, string a few wins together and you could find yourself competing for 3rd place.
That's been the interesting thing, and it's been like that probably since the middle of November. You win you put 2 or 3 in a row together, and all of a sudden you're in a battle for 3rd. And like you said, if you don't put those points on the board, then you're going to be fighting for it. So I mean, we believe our destiny's in our hands. It's just a matter of going out there, getting the job done, doing things the right way, and working hard for those points.
Lots of North Division games coming up in the next little bit too, so maybe a chance to gain some ground.
Well, I think so. That's where we got to do it, is head-to-head. We haven't necessarily done our job against the South Division this year. We haven't got as many points as we kind of had penciled in early on in the year, but you know what? You got to embrace the challenge of playing these good northern teams, and we see a lot of Spruce Grove down the stretch here. We got Lloydminster a few times. It's been hard on us this year, so it's a chance for us to test ourselves against the good teams, and it seems to me that when we play the good teams, our guys rise to the occasion. And we expect our guys to really push hard down the stretch here, and we want to make it real hard on teams.
As fans of the Alberta Junior Hockey League will know, the South Division has traditionally been significantly weaker than the North Division. In the past few years, the Brooks Bandits have kind of emerged from the South Division as a threat to be reckoned with throughout the entire league. But this year, more than any other, at least in the recent past, the South Division has a number of good teams that can compete on a regular basis with the North Division teams. What do you think the South Division teams have done to level things off?
Well, I think that they've built good teams. I mean, you look at the guys in Drumheller have done a real good job this year. They got a good team. Okotoks always seems to be strong, but Canmore's done a real good job of recruiting this year. And at this level, recruiting is what you have to do. You have to build your program the right way so you're good for consecutive years and not just a one-off team. I mean, look at the teams that are consistently good in this league. Spruce Grove, they never have a drop-off. They work real hard at recruiting. They put a high priority on recruiting the right age groups of guys and having a good balance in their lineup every year. Same with Fort McMurray. Even if they have a bit of an off year, they're not bottom of the barrel. They recruit, they have a plan, and that's what we're trying to institute here. We got a plan here. It's going to take some time to get it done, but there is a plan. We've been hitting the recruiting trails real hard now. We want to make Grande Prairie the destination for Junior A hockey in Canada, and that's our goal.
If the Storm are going to move up in playoff position, 3rd, 4th, 5th, name 2 or 3 players that need to really step up and what they have to do.
Well, I think goaltending's the number one thing. I mean, Nick's got to keep on going how he's been in the last 5 or 6 games here. If he's solid back there, he's going to give us a chance to win every night. If I had to pick a guy up front, I would say Jade McMullen. Jade's been playing real strong since he came back from his injury there. And when we can get Jade scoring consistently, he's our one real true offensive threat that can make stuff happen out of nothing. And if we can get Jade on the board, and that'll be real important for us. And then I guess the other one, without naming a certain name, I would just say our young players finding a way to contribute on the scoreboard on a consistent basis. We need those guys to help us win. If we don't have those guys helping us out, we're not going to get there. We can't depend on just our older players. We got to become a group and score by committee. It's been like that all year. We talked about it in the preseason. We knew we were going to be a 4-line team, and it was going to be a different group every night that was going to be that group. But we got to find some guys that can step up and consistently contribute.